The overlap between luxury, fashion, wellness, beauty, like beauty and wellness is almost become like one thing now. That's one of the biggest trends of 2026.
Welcome to Powerhouse with Joyce. We're doing an International Women's Day series, 2026. The theme is Give to Gain. And joining us today is Florence Tsai. She's a wellness director at Acme Wellness. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Joyce.
Thanks for coming. This episode is in collaboration with S.Nine by Susanna Soo, a Hong Kong-based contemporary women's wear that blends romantic femininity with functional modern design. And maybe we can start off with a quick introduction of yourself and what do you do now?
Okay, sure. So hi, everybody. My name is Florence. I am the wellness director at a contrast therapy and holistic wellness studio in central Hong Kong called Acme Wellness. I'm also a sound healer.
Amazing. Well, tell us more about the sound healing. That's quite interesting.
Sure. It's very complementary to my work as wellness director at Acme, but it's something I actually discovered while I was working at Acme. We have a very beautiful lounge space and, I thought we should utilize it and do some events. And we kind of attracted some of these healers. Some people might think it's woo-woo, but now like medicine and science is recognizing sound more and more as a very legitimate tool to increase well-being. And I can personally vouch for that because it was through experiencing sound baths that ignited my interest and passion in it. And that's how I went on my own sound healing journey and now became a sound healer.
Oh, wow. And how many sessions does one generally feel the change?
You feel it right away. It's same as contrast therapy. You do one sound bath and you feel it right away.
Wow.
Yeah. Provided the practitioner is not horrible. But yeah. Yeah.
But you feel it one way or the other, right?
It's very immediate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you always interested in different type of wellness techniques?
I think I've always been interested in wellness to some extent. When I was a little girl, my teacher would ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I told her I wanted to be a nurse. So I think the enjoyment and fulfillment I get out of helping other people has always been in me from a young age. And I just think wellness or helping others feel better, grow, increase their capacity to handle stress, bring more awareness and help them improve and grow their emotional well-being is really, really fulfilling for me. I'm very open-minded. So I love trying new things. I love trying different things because you never know like where it will take you or if it will help you. But sound is one of the most powerful and ancient ways of healing. Yeah,
amazing, because you were in different industry before, right? Yeah. So you were in luxury, fashion, and art.
And what's really interesting to me is seeing like the overlap of all these things now. The overlap between luxury, fashion, wellness, beauty. Like beauty and wellness is almost become like one thing now. That's one of the biggest trends of 2026.
When it makes sense, and I think that's good in the mindset wise, right? The wellness and beauty is not just the artificial side of beauty, but it's also within.
Yeah,
so
and things are really changing for women and wellness. These like top like luxury wellness resorts and hotels around the world are offering retreats specifically designed for women only. For too long, like our wellness parameters were like determined or measured by like tests that involved men, but our biology is just so different. So it's really nice to see like the entire world kind of putting more focus on women's wellness in particular.
That's great, which is amazing because after so many years, it's still very much lumped into a general wellness, right? And so now finally there's more discussion, more specifics on women's health and women's wellness. So that's great.
Great.
Yeah. Maybe you can explain a little bit more about the contrast therapy because we're, in terms of wellness, it has grown a lot in the past few years. We kind of briefly talked about before. And I think before the concept was a little different. It's more about like the basic level of wellness. And of course, there's many different parts and different areas that one could think about wellness. So maybe you can explain a little bit more about that.
Sure. So contrast therapy is actually a very ancient ritual that originated from Europe. Like it was like the Finnish kind of Swedish countries, Norway, Nordic cultures. So it actually consisted of doing a dry sauna and then coming out and rolling in the snow. And then going back in the dry sauna. So people discovered that this kind of made them feel so good And there's a reason behind that. There's a lot of science behind it. You know, it increases your dopamine levels. It helps you look better, feel better. It increases your norepinephrine. It's a kind of controlled type of stress that kickstarts your parasympathetic nervous system. And so nervous system regulation is a huge topic in wellness right now, because if you don't have a calm nervous system, all your hormones, everything is just out of balance. So this is very popular overseas, and in Hong Kong, it's just starting to pick up. And Acme was one of the first studios that opened in Hong Kong. It's very unique because it's private. It's got different private rooms with contrast therapy. So in a sense, I feel like since this is an International Women's Day series, I would like to highlight that it can kind of cater more for women's needs that way. For example, there's a lot of community ones, which are great. I love the social wellness aspect, social bonding, doing wellness activities with your friends. Like I love that aspect. But for example, if you're a postpartum mother and you are looking for ways to recover and make yourself feel better, you might not want to be in a communal environment. You know, your body is changed. You've gone through a traumatic event. Birth is traumatic. Let's be real.
Absolutely.
But so Acme provides like private rooms where you can recover in privacy and just enjoy me time. You know, like we all know moms don't get enough of that. So this is a really great way to do that.
Absolutely. That is amazing. For your personal journey, is there a certain experience that kind of made you change your course? Because I think you were in the lecture industry before. Is there a specific change that made you pivot to different industry?
Yeah, partially. I didn't really like the corporate culture and a lot of the companies I worked for. I've a lot of respect for people in the corporate world, but I think it was just not really for me. I liked having a bit more flexibility, and I think I had a more entrepreneurial spirit. So very, very grateful that I get to work with my partner at Acme, because she kind of gives me some freedom to try to develop and grow the business. Do
you feel that was a big learning curve as well in terms of kind of managing a business and taking the experience from what you've had from corporate?
It was very different. I don't think a lot of my skills I learned from the corporate world really applied to running or like doing business development. It's kind of a different horse.
Yes, for sure. I mean, I came from corporate and then kind of starting my own, like in terms of content creation, like photography, videography.
It's very different.
Very different. There are many aspects that, you don't know until you actually go into and experience it, and you just basically have to do everything that's separate from corporate. You kind of stay in your specialty, your skill set, and other department will kind of take care of itself. But when you have your business or managing a smaller business, then you have to do
it's kind of
things.
more overarching. Like you have to manage a lot.
And now part of the theme is give to gain, and that's partly a spirit of like collaboration and working with different parties to kind of promote and empower the idea of female strength and empowerment. You've kind of mentioned, of course, at Acme, a lot of it relates to that in terms of wellness. It's more private. It's a way to kind of have more space for female to have that enjoyment, but more private.
And males.
That's true. Everyone can have that private me time. Are there like specific personal experience that really helps you?
Yeah, of course. I think this comes from a deeply personal place. Like the reason why I'm such a proponent of contrast therapy, so passionate about it, and outspoken, is because it really helped me. Like when I first experienced contrast therapy, I was at a pretty low point of my life, and it just did wonders for my mood. It just made me feel so good. And even some studies say it's a good protocol to kind of involve in your lifestyle, say for people who are experiencing anxiety or depression, because you just feel incredible after. It's so powerful. Like you really don't understand until you've tried it. Like it kind of increases like the dopamine levels by like 500% or something. Like you feel great after. And
is there like learning curve to it too? Because I mean, obviously there's a lot of cold and
of course. I was very lucky. Like when I first did it, I had support from my friend or from an expert. So even now, like I also guide people first time in the cold plunge, because it is very scary. Like I had a celebrity, like a friend, she like cried in it because it can bring up like some emotional like blockages or something.
For sure.
Because it's so cold. You have to be so present that it provides an emotional release.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. Like, we would just talk about like swimming in even a swimming pool when it's cold water. It's quite stressful that way. So,
But
being
it's
in
a
cold plunge
controlled
must be-
stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it increases your stress resilience. It provides an emotional release. It's very, very unique in that way. Like I also cried before I did it the first time.
And how long do you stay in the cold plunge usually?
So women shouldn't stay for too long. Studies and research have shown that women should stay between like 3 to 6 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, or 3 to 5, something like that. And
That sounds long already.
no,
Just
you,
thinking of the freezing
you get
water,
the
but-
benefits after 2 to 3 minutes already. So you shouldn't stay. And actually, the most important thing is the temperature. Women should not plunge lower than 13 degrees.
Okay.
So between 13 and 16 is a good temperature, just because
see.
our bodies are built differently from men,
Right.
and we cannot tolerate as much stress.
I
as
see.
men.
So it's not exactly
Physical
the
stress.
ice water. So it is just colder temperature.
It's just cold.
Not-
Yeah,
not
we don't
necessarily
use
going to-
ice.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that makes
It's
more
very
sense.
pure, filtered, regulated water. It's very
Nice.
nice. Yeah, there's a bit of hydrotherapy, so it really boosts your circulation and lymphatic drainage.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good. Gotta try it sometime.
Yeah, you should.
And so with this year's theme, International Women's Day, how does the theme particularly speak to you, the give to gain?
I think when you're not stingy with giving, you never know what can come back. And it's like cliche, but I do believe in the saying that whatever you give out to the world will come back to you like equally, if not more, like maybe tenfold. So I think I love that your theme is give to gain, because as a person, I operate like as a giver. Like you need to give before you can receive, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's absolutely. And I think over the years, because each year there's a different theme for International Women's Day, and I mean, it doesn't have to be a specific day, obviously. I think every day, well, we want to be able to practice that and work with female leaders, work with female allies.
Women are such natural givers, though.
Yes.
Yeah. So it is also important not to just give and give and give and give.
That's
right?
true.
You need to
That's
learn to take care of yourself
Right.
as well. So I think it's a fine balance.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there a specific example of a project before, even like in your different hats or corporate world, that you feel like that was something that really resonated? You were able to help someone and really kind of came back full circle for you?
Well, I think it's always really fulfilling when you introduce someone to another person. For example, like I had a friend who was looking for a job in the art industry, and I hooked her up with someone who works for one of the most reputable galleries in the world. And, she got the job. Like, I think that's really fulfilling. Yeah. But currently, I also find it really fulfilling to, introduce contrast therapy to people who have never heard of it, guide and help people with like first time in the cold plunge, and just see the profound like effects and transformation. Like I get girls who like come to Acme, like they've just broken up, they feel awful, and they contrast and immediately like they feel better. It's very empowering. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. So just back to the theme of being empowered and taking care of yourself first, and be able to do that and focus on yourself, and therefore then you can kind of then interact with the rest of the world in a different mindset.
Yeah, I think contrast therapy has definitely, like I've spoke about this in interviews before, like it helps me become a better person. Like you can't really give unless you feel good, right? Because or else whatever you're giving is probably not great. Yeah. So in order to make sure that you're giving well and you're giving quality and you're giving your best, you need to know how to make yourself feel that as well.
Right.
And I think contrast therapy is actually a very, very powerful wellness tool to do that. Like I can't imagine life without it anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people who do it as part of like their life, like entrepreneurs, bankers, lawyers, moms, like it just takes 45 minutes or even like 30 if you're in a rush, like a quick in and out, and you just feel so good. Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And speaking of like working on yourself, and as you said, like while giving, you have to work on yourself in order to be quality giver, being a leader. What are some terms of definition of success to you?
I think empowerment is a very, very big one. The world is changing. Like, I don't really believe in this like hierarchy, like kind of thing anymore. Like, I think it's very important that everyone on your team or everyone you work with feels empowered, because I think that's when they can deliver their best. It's my opinion.
For sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.